Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel yet again. Today's video is going to be an introductory team, in my opinion, the best team to run through the Kanto region here in PokeMMO. So without further ado, let's jump into the first Pokemon. Alright, starting us off here is going to be Charizard, right? So where do you get Charizard? Well, we're going to start off, assuming this is your starter Pokemon, but assuming you pick something else for some reason and now you're clicking on this video and you want to run through Kanto using my team here that I've constructed, here you go, right? We're gonna catch a Charizard here using a lure, rather a Charmander using a lure on the grass in the Kanto and Route 3. It's gonna be in the early game here in Route 4 here next to Mount Moon in the Kanto region. You're gonna fly here to this Poke Center, or I guess you're gonna come here and just go here and in this piece of grass, and sooner or later you're gonna be running into a Charizard. Remember to lure, okay? And the easiest way to catch this is gonna be using any Pokemon with False Swipe and Spore. However, in this early stage, just sleeping it and maybe doing a few hits, like a few tackles or something, and then throwing a Pokeball should honestly do the trick. But yeah, here is the movesets and the items for the Charizard in question, as you can see here. So we're going to start off with leftovers. It doesn't really matter as far as Charizard goes. Again, so this is not like PvP. This is not competitive. This is just to go through the storyline, you know, various trainers and things like that. Let's just jump into some battles. Just so you guys have something to watch. But yeah, this is the Charizard in question. We got leftovers, we got Flare Blitz, Dragon Dance, Outrage, and Earthquake. So basically, I wanted all these things for different coverage, okay? The best way to run through the storyline is to have as much coverage as possible, as well as PP. If you don't have Flare Blitz and you want something early game, I would recommend Flamethrower instead, as you get more PP. I believe Flamethrower is 15 and Flare Blitz is maybe less, maybe 10 or so, something like that. Dragon Dance is for setting up. It boosts some attack as well as speed. So, you know, if you're going through a gym or something like that, you might want to Dragon Dance up once or twice, and then eventually you'll be able to kind of just sweep through in the entire gym. Outrage on the physical move, just kind of going through the same theory there of just like dealing out a lot of damage very quickly and taking on multiple foes at the same time. And then Earthquake just for coverage against, you know, different things that aren't weak to fire or dragon or anything like that. So yeah, that's the first Pokemon up. It's just a Charizard, you know, very simple. This should be your starter if you're running through the team like I am. So yeah, that's Charizard. That's the first Pokemon. Let's move on to number 2. Alright, the next Pokemon up is going to be Gyarados. As you can see here, boom, here's the Gyarados. How are you going to acquire a Gyarados, right? So you're going to start off with a Magikarp, and fortunately, you're going to be able to evolve it very soon here at level 20. But the best way here, I don't know why I said that so weird. The best and I guess quickest way, maybe the first way you get it actually, is with the Old Rod here in Vermilion City, which I believe you can just go ahead and fish right here, and you should be seeing Magikarps. Any place with an Old Rod, actually. So again, I'm just gonna be kind of going through back and grass so you can see things. But yeah, here we go. Boom, Gyarados right here. We're gonna start off with the black glasses. You can either go black glasses if one of your moves is going to be crunch. I know I don't have crunch on this. I would recommend crunch instead of either surf or waterfall. Probably instead of surf, as I think waterfall is going to be a physical move and surf is not. This is going to be a physical attacker Gyarados as well, although it doesn't hurt to have surf unless you have an ancient friend or you buy a Ocarina. But yeah, here's the moveset: Dragon Dance, Ice Fang, Surf, and Waterfall. Again, take out Surf for crunch if you so wish. And if you don't want to run, if you want to run Surf and Waterfall together, then I would not recommend having black glasses. Just put on leftovers or Mystic Water to boost your water moves by 10%. Moxie is a very important ability, as you can tell here. Let me just pop open a Gyarados. As you can tell here, Moxie boosts attack after knocking out any Pokemon. So if you, for some reason, beat, you know, gym leaders or trainers or anything like that, and they have like 5 or 6 in a row, eventually like Moxie will kick in, and the more Pokemon you take out, the basically more damage you're going to do to the future Pokemon. So it's a great like ramp up Pokemon. It's a great Pokemon to continuously, I guess, just add on to and basically just like tear down teams, tear down gyms and trainers, things like that. So Moxie actually really matters on Gyarados. So yeah, that is Pokemon number 2. Again, very simple, very easy to find. Any Old Rod in any water, any beginning patches of water in the Kanto region will get it done. So let's move on to the next Pokemon. for your next Pokemon, it's going to go ahead and be Nidoking. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you to the spot. It's a start off here in Viridian City, and just go ahead and go on over here, and boom, you're in Route 22, I believe. Let me just make absolute sure. Yep, Route 22, route levels 3 to 5. I believe this is the earliest place you can catch Nidoran if you have not already. There's also like Mankey and stuff like that, Spearow, stuff like that in here, but again, we're going for a Nidoran. Nidoran is not common in this piece of grass, so you might have to hunt for it a little bit, but yeah, I would recommend either the ground boosting move. I think it's soft sand. I think it's a move that, it's an item that boosts ground type moves, or just slap on leftovers. Can't go wrong with leftovers, or even black sludge if you somehow have a black sludge in early game of Kanto. Your moveset is going to be Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Mega Horn, and Thrash. Obviously, you know, as you're going through the storyline, it's probably not going to look just like this. You might have to have like some weaker moves, but overall you want to have obviously a ground move and a poison move. You know, Poison Jab works well early game. The good thing about Nidoran actually is that as soon as it becomes a Nidorino at, I believe it's level 16. Yeah, level 16, you can boom, just slap on a Moonstone and have a fully evolved Nidoking. So that's really cool that you get it really early game. So that's why Nidoking, Nidoqueen, I think Nidoking is a little more offensive, which is probably better for the storyline than Nidoqueen. So I would recommend a Nidoking. And again, you get it super early in the game, which is why it's so good. And yeah, this is the moveset that I think is best. Again, it has a lot of coverage. Mega Horn, especially against your random psychic types. There's Hypnos and Kadabras sometimes in the storyline. Sabrina's Gym might be a problem. So Mega Horn is definitely a good go-to there. Thrash is also very good for taking out like hordes of Pokemon. Not hordes in the traditional sense, but like, you know, if a trainer has like 4 Pokemon back to back, things like that. And again, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, or Earthquake, Poison Jab, you know, any kind of combination like that is very good. And if you can, aim for Poison Point. I think Poison Point is very good at, you know, it basically, if any Pokemon like physical attacks your Nidoking, there's a good chance that it gets poisoned. I think it's like a 10% chance, or is it more than that? Let's see. Let's take a look at Nidoking. Poison Point. I don't think the odds are there, but yeah, Poison Point is a good ability. So yeah, that's the third Pokemon, I believe. Let's move on to the next one.
Amazing.
All right, Pokemon number 4 is going to be Magnezone. Yeah, Magnezone is pretty cool. So here we go. We start off with Magnemite. Where is it in the Kanto regions? Obviously in the power plant. This is not the earliest place you can get it. I guess there's actually better places. Let me take you to a better place. Route 6, it looks like there's a better location and a lower level. So let's go ahead and fly on over to Route 6. Where is it exactly? I think it's out down here. Okay, so it's below Saffron City. So once you get access to Saffron City, just go ahead and go on down. I think it's actually Vermilion. I think it's this piece of grass. So yeah, it looks like Magnemites are here in hordes as well as just single encounter. But boom, here's the stats for Magnezone. Obviously, you're gonna run an air balloon because it would help against ground type moves, you know. So that's cool for Magnezone. Otherwise, I guess leftovers is fine. Another thing about Magnezone, the movesets, actually pretty important. Discharge is actually really good against hordes, obviously, because you can knock out hordes as much as you want, as fast as you want, because it's an AoE move. Flash Cannon is going to be your biggest steel move on this team, so anything that's weak against steel, you're obviously going to want to run Flash Cannon. Tri Attack is good against things that are just kind of like random that are you're faced against, like, for instance, grass types or dragon types, you know, like things like that. Like Tri Attack is just going to be your best bet. And then Volt Switch in the case that you get a bad matchup, or in case like the computer does something that's really smart against you, and the ability doesn't matter as much. But yeah, in this piece of grass is essentially where you're going to see Magnemite. There you go, finally we got some Magnemites here. Go ahead and kill them off and then catch one. Obviously you want best stats as possible. 31 special, 31 speed is going to be your best bet. Breeding is also a very good alternative for a lot of these Pokemon, but if you don't have access, or if you want to run like kind of like an Iron Man solo account where you don't really change things, you kind of just catch Pokemon, maybe kind of like a Nuzlocke or something, like Magnezone is a really cool Pokemon, really good defensively against a lot of the gyms in Kanto as well. So while it is offensive, Magnezone is probably going to be one of your tankier Pokemon that should last a long time. And so yeah, speaking of tankier Pokemon, let's get into the next Pokemon, which is going to be Snorlax. So if you don't know, Snorlax is in 2 spots in the Kanto region. If we start off here in Lavender Town and go down, I think if anybody played the Kanto regions as a kid growing up, you kind of know like where it is. So you just kind of go down here, and I believe it is right here. Yep. So Snorlax is obviously right here in the Kanto region, Route 12. Here we go. Here are the stats. Leftovers is a big thing for Snorlax. It's just got a lot of HP. It's a tank. Here's the moveset I like to run: Earthquake, Crunch, Return, and Brick Break. So Return is a huge thing. Obviously, it's either Return or Headbutt, and I think Return generally does more damage. Not all the time, right? But generally. Crunch is good against taking out like random psychic types or anything that, you know, might be like a ghost type. That's obviously like some better coverage. I would say Earthquake is really good against, you know, your electric types and things like it wouldn't, like if you're going against like random, I don't know, Earthquake, just ground moves in general, like against Lieutenant Surge and against, you know, electric types in general, the power plant, things like that. You're going to face some different things out there. And Brick Break, just some extra coverage against like the normal types that you're going to face in the wild. So yeah, there's Snorlax. That's Pokemon number 5. Yeah, believe it or not, we're almost done with the list here. Let's wrap it up here with the last Pokemon. This is actually not quite in order of when you're going to catch it, because you can actually catch this guy pretty early. But we're going to move on over to Cerulean City. You're going to go ahead and go on up. The Pokemon in question is Abra. I'm showing you exactly where to get it. Go up this Nugget Bridge and boom, in this piece of grass, Route 24 in the Kanto region is where you're going to catch Abra. The best bet to catch Abra is basically to quick ball it. If you don't have access to quick balls, I would recommend just great balling it. Or if you have a Pokemon that's fast enough, try putting it to sleep first, and then I would say throw like the best ball you have, whether it's Ultra or whatnot. I'm actually not prepared to catch an Abra right now because I need a Pokemon. I need another Pokemon that has like that can block teleport, like an arena trap Pokemon. So I'm not gonna go in that grass just yet, but you guys know where it is. I'm gonna go to another random piece of grass where Abra's not, and just kind of go around so you guys have something to look at. Here we go. Boom, Alakazam. Focus Sash is really good. Alakazam is kind of a glass cannon. So it's actually basically not going to live many hits, if any at all. So you're going to want to have it basically just be the fastest Pokemon. If it gets hit, at least it lives like a little bit. At least it has a chance of living. So yeah, Psychic is good. Calm Mind if you want to like start setting up for it. Energy Ball to take out random grass and other types, like ground types, things like that. And then Focus Blast as a nice little special physical or special fighting move against your dark types and things like that that are like basically going to surprise you. So yeah, that's Alakazam. Yeah, good Pokemon, solid Pokemon, and yeah, that's the last Pokemon. Let me know what you thought about this team. It's not like the best in the world or anything like that, but hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you try it out, or at least a few of these Pokemon. Let me know if you guys have a better team or a more interesting team, a fun team, whatever, in the comment section. And if you like this kind of video, let me know if you want to see more for doing other regions. There's other regions out there. I can definitely do kind of like a best team for those as well, and I can definitely change it up. I can do like worst team, things like that. So yeah, you let me know in the comments section. Thanks so much for the recent support. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys later. Peace, and peace.